podcast Infinitum. Thank you so much for joining us. And we are here with our beautiful, illustrious chain of command and our team. I see Fantasia, Thomas Hadnot, and Nicholas Williams. How you doing, guys? Thank you so much for joining us and coming out to spend time with us. Jennifer came all the way from Virginia, y'all. That's dedication right there.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. And some of you guys are in Holland, South Africa, Canada, all kinds of places, right? Shout out to everybody
state.
all around the world. Yeah, the 51st state.
Oh, man.
You know? And, I personally don't have any static with any of the other countries. I love Canada. Canada is very clean. And I can't wait to go back. Toronto specifically. I would like to visit Winnipeg, Manitoba, and see what that's like. But, on our last podcast, we had a list that we were going over, which is the 10+1 spiritual prohibitors, And prohibit means to prevent something from happening. And in my humble opinion, there's a pretty long list of things that can inhibit you or prohibit you from becoming more spiritually available to your own self. So we left off at, I believe, number 3, which was higher self-abandonment. Mm-hmm. And I think we fleshed that out pretty much, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we can go to number 4. And number 4 on the list is spiritual confusion. Spiritual confusion. There are things that happen, I think, on a World Wide Web on a weekly basis that help to create more spiritual confusion in people who want to know more about. Can we close that door over there, Nick? Thank you. That are well-meaning people who are searching for the light, who are searching for direct knowledge about things that they have questions about. So spiritual confusion, I think, it also leads people to just say, just throw their hands up in the air, I'm done, and I'm not getting anywhere. There also, I believe, is a mandate for people that, for some reason, like to put out disinformation and put out, things that don't help people. And I've been a victim of that. Mm-hmm. I've been in New York City and said, hey, excuse me, I'm looking for Lexington Avenue and 63rd Street. The person will say, oh, yeah, go down 3 blocks that way and make a left. Mm-hmm. And me having blind, trust in my fellow man, I'll do that and realize that they told me the wrong direction. And I can't help but to think, did they do that on purpose? And then giggle when they walked away? Probably did.
Some of them do.
Sometimes they don't, though.
Yeah, sometimes they don't, but I've seen it where people purposely do that, and it pisses me off.
And rightfully so.
I will chase the person down and be like, no, they told you the wrong.
Let me tell you. If I could catch up with the people after 3 blocks and say, you know what, you told me the wrong direction. I just wanted you to know that. Mm-hmm. That wasn't very nice. Right. I'm sure they'll make up an excuse.
I'm talking about like if the person that's being told the wrong direction, like when they start walking away and I know that they're told the wrong thing, that person I will go I'll tap them like, no, they just told you the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, no, if you're in earshot, of course. Don't listen to them. And then they'll be looking at you, you're just hating because that person talked to me. You have all types of people that have strange motivations in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's very
true.
interesting. So, spiritual confusion is something that I feel a lot of people suffer from in the way that people suffer from restless leg syndrome, diabetes, and any other malady that descends into the human body. Spiritual confusion is the absence of correct spiritual truth and direction. And you could see this absence in the lives of people who don't have proper form in terms of sometimes people have job insecurity, they have lack of lots of things, and that's because they're in a state of spiritual confusion. Does anybody have anything to add to that at all before we move on, or did I cover that base? Yes?
You did. I just want to just point out that a lot of times when people become students of Galighticus, or they come to our seminars and we suggest that, if you're going to go by the teachings of Sri Master Gano Grills, you may want to, just investigate this journey by itself instead of taking from 5,000 different things and becoming what you call black hole consciousness. I feel like that is something that definitely leads to this.
Absolutely. And you
know
what?
There's no purpose in your spiritual journey.
Well, on that, the next one, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, absolutely. And duly noted. Nicholas Williams, you had something that you wanted to add on with that?
Yeah. So I'll be transparent. I've been feeling spiritual confusion over the past few months.
Why is that?
Certain things that transpire, between me and a few other people, and just overall the choices I made like way before Galighticus that are catching up to me now. And it's like I have a lot of abilities, but it's like it's almost overwhelming because I have all of this, but where do I go? I know that my 𝙭𝙗 are my life and I am them, and I will always worship them. And it's just I'm looking for direction.
Okay, what kind of direction specifically?
Direction towards a career path.
Okay, so let me ask you something. When it comes to career path, what is it that you're really passionate about that you can see yourself possibly, being of service to an industry or something like that? What does that look like for you? Have you given that some deference? Because I know you play basketball, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hoop pretty well. But
okay, that's what's up.
I'm not going to be this, high leaping person forever. And
right.
I want something that can carry me past my, physical peak.
Okay, well, and you know what? That is really, I think that goes along with what I was saying before. At a certain point in all of our lives, we want to stop using our bodies as much as we want to start moving into utilizing more of our mentality with far less effort than it exacts a toll on our physical bodies. That's a wise transition into something greater. And maybe you're being called upon to do that, but you have to spend the time at really looking at what it is that you can go into. And sometimes it's a little painstaking. You know what I mean? It takes time and energy. It's really no different from the time that you may spend on trying to grab the memory of what it is that you were doing in your dream state. And sometimes it feels like you literally are in a void and there's nothing out there. But you have to make the determination with your divine will. I am not going to open my eyes until I catch this. And right before you're ready to give up, boom, there it is. It's like, oh, okay. And then you pull it back in, and then it's like, and you rewind it, and it's like, oh, yeah, oh. And then when you run it back a couple of times, you're like, I almost forgot that. Right. If I wasn't determined to grab that, and imagine how many times you've done that in your life with all kinds of things. So it really starts, Nicholas, with the decision. You're on the right path because you're giving consideration to something that you want to change and evolve into. Just continue to do that. Spend time every day. The best time to do that is in the wee hours of the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Or when you first wake up fresh-minded, don't do anything except get up and do, your spiritual things that you have to do. And just spend time thinking, what am I going to do with my life? Ask your higher self that. What would you have me do? Let the answer come to you. Have you not done that?
I have not done that.
Okay, so spend some time doing that. What would you have me do? What will you have me do? What is in my highest, most divine good? These are questions that will be answered. Maybe not in the way that you expect them, which is why you don't expect anything, but you are prepared for everything. Because literally, I've asked certain questions, and I'm always open to how the answer will come. Usually comes and we're like, wow, I couldn't be any more clearer than that. Glad I was paying attention in it.
Yes.
Right? So have faith in that's another thing too. Faith is a very important thing because when we asked, for lack of a better term, the spirit for something that it has to do with how am I going to live the rest of my life or whatever it is, you deserve to have a clear, definitive answer. But again, sometimes, people get the answer and they overshoot like, okay, well, what is he trying to tell me? It's right there in your face. It's really up to you to allow it in, right? Yeah. And, for you to make use of what is so obvious. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does.
Can I tell a little story? It'll be quick.
Sure.
There was a time where I felt spiritually confused, and this was during my Galighticus journey, where like all these, this, some of y'all know this, where all these voices were coming at me, and they were like, that's not your teacher, and this, that, and the third. But there was something else in my body that said, you have to fight that.
Right.
And when I always talk about that scene in the Wonder Woman movie where the Aries god was saying how he would whisper ideas into the minds of human beings, and it's up to them to take those thoughts and make them become reality. So during that time when I was going through that, I was like, what is this? And the thing that came to me one day was, you have the tools to fight this. Why aren't you using them? I had a book of all my SOPs.
Your notes and collection of
and so I'm looking through my SOPs, And I found some that jumped out at me. And my heart said, use this, use this. It was like, so the point I'm trying to make is when we are given tools to use and to stay on the right path, it's important that we use that and not give into those kind of things or give up on ourselves. Like as Nicholas is going through his life and he, you feel confused. All of us go through that kind of stuff. But that part of you that's like a beacon, it almost feels like, how E.T. in that part where his heart is glowing?
Never saw the movie.
What?
Really?
Sorry.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I've never
Sorry,
seen it.
guys. See?
I've never seen it either.
Hey.
So it was just like the E.T. movie,
Right.
where in the movie, his heart, towards the end, it starts to glow because he wants to find his way home. And that was his beacon to his alien family. Because this is about an alien, right? The little E.T.?
So, I kind of figured that. I thought that was an alien, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Extraterrestrial, right?
And Drew
friend
Barrymore
Captain-
was in it.
I
Captain,
knew it was her.
Yeah.
I
Captain,
thought that was her.
was I being Captain Obvious?
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Salute.
It's okay.
So, yeah. But I use that as a metaphor, right? Like we are trying to find our way back to ourselves. And so that, the way my heart felt, it was like that beacon, to let me know, like, this is how you get out of this confusion. And when I started solarizing certain words, those voices started to dissipate.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
So that's duly noted that we have a lot of times the things around us and within our reach that we can use. And sometimes people just take it for granted. They're like, I've been in my place and hungry. Literally, just recently I was sitting up there like, I didn't cook anything. It was 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I got some sardines, some jalapeno sardines. I went to the kitchen, I grabbed the sardines, I opened it up, and I poured some orange juice, and it was delicious. And I said, man, I'm really fortunate that I had these sardines here, and I enjoyed it. It was cool.
And you know what that joy feels like. So when you know what that feels like, you keep pursuing it. And that let me know that the journey that I am on, because the tools that I have was able to give me clarity and take away the confusion, it let me know that the spiritual journey I am on is the clear path. So that's how I use that,
And I remember when you were in that state of chaos, we were in Egypt. And can I blow you up?
I'm scared. If we can edit it out, if I don't like it, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? If I say something it's off record, we'll duly note it. But I think we were in the temple of Philae in Egypt, which is the temple of Isis. And I'm looking for Racine. Like, Racine.
Oh no, it wasn't.
That wasn't Philae.
Abu Simbel.
Oh, that was Abu Simbel. Oh, see, yeah, my girls are there. We're in the building.
Yep, Abu Simbel.
So you were sitting there, and I'm looking for you. You sitting up there, and I'm like, "Yo, you all right? You good?" No. Racine was like, "I can't. I need a moment. Just please, just act." And I'm like,
but I want
okay,
to tell you something deep about that, though.
Yeah.
Because people are always talking about like the masculine and the feminine. That's what Abu Simbel is. There's one temple is dedicated to feminine, one to the masculine, right? And I feel like we all have that duality.
I could have sworn it was Philae.
No, it was not. It was definitely
Philae
Abu
was something
Simbel.
else. There was something else happening on the island of Philae.
Yeah, but that wasn't
okay.
what you're talking about. So
Okay.
yeah,
We'll
it
get back
wasn't.
to that. That
No,
was something else.
no, because that had nothing to do with that part of my journey. Though it was somebody
Okay.
being a little funny style, and I was like, let me go
okay.
over yonder because I don't want to
Okay.
do with that
Yeah.
energy.
You.
Female.
Male.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you off record. I'll tell you offline.
Yeah. That's okay.
But
wants the tea.
so as I was sitting there, like pondering about this, right? I found it interesting that I got stuck and felt like I was breaking free of certain things in the masculine temple, right? And the masculine temple is supposed to deal with logic. Like Lord Thoth is in there very heavily. Using your magic, the alchemy of things. And that was the energy that started let me look at that book and look at the words of power and those things like that. So like when people talk about masculine and feminine, I had to tap into the masculine part of myself, the logical part of myself, to say, how can I be solution oriented in this moment?
Right.
And I was just stuck there. I'm telling you, I remember feeling so ashamed. I saw Lord Thoth's carving in there, and I just put my forehead on it. And I said, I don't want to fail you.
Wow. That's
I
powerful.
don't want to fail you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I would say I can't say the temple, but I was looking for, the ritual that we have. We put all of our stuff in and you've heard the story before. I just want to just pivot
yeah.
on something that you said. And the temple was very, very dark, and I'm feeling around, and I'm like, crack. And you know,
I'm sorry. That was so
I know,
funny.
yeah. You know what? Y'all
Oh,
better
crack.
stop. So I stuck my finger to the damn. So I stuck it through, and I'm like, that's enough
just-
space. And I put, the
Yeah,
receptacle. I put the information.
You're making it worse. Okay,
in
there you go. The information,
I'm
yep.
not even, I put it in there, and it was deep in there.
Wow.
And
Okay, go ahead.
I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, and I took my phone and I put the flashlight on, and it was Lord Thoth's midsection. And I was like, wow, that is a perfect place for that.
Wow.
And like, the odds of that. And it was like
Yeah.
right here in the solar plexus, which is where the true brain is.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yep.
all right, I give up. So many things. So things like that happen, Rosina, to us at certain times. And it's the best thing. When I go too long without experiencing something like that or close to that, I feel like, okay, something's off. I'm looking for
I
that
feel the
synchronicity.
same.
You know what I mean?
I feel the same
Yeah.
way. I'm like, hey, ancestors, y'all not giving me the same winks. Like, what am I doing? Or, know,
Right.
but yeah, that I'll take that experience with me forever. I feel like I need a redo in Kemet though, at some point. But
I think that seriously, as much as I love Kim,
I know you're.
so many places on the planet to see. So
No,
many other
I
places.
know that probably won't happen with Galacticus, but I
And
will,
it might.
okay, but
Even
even
if 50 people say, "Hey, I want to go with you with Galacticus,"
okay,
all right.
I'm just saying if
But
it
I'm just
doesn't, you know
saying.
that divine will that kicks
Not
in.
redo.
Right.
I have to do a redo. I want to go back to that same temple, and I want to bow down to that same carving of Lord Thoth.
And you remember where it is in Abu Simbel,
I know
right?
when I walk in there, I'll know.
Good. Absolutely.
And I just want to say
Reconnect.
to him, I hope I'm making you proud. I hope I'm making some progress.
You don't have to
And-
go all the way to Abu
No,
Simbel
I
to
know
do
that. It's just a symbolic thing for me.
Gotcha.
That's what
I'm
it
just
is.
saying. No, that's duly noted. Duly noted. So spiritual confusion, boys and
Yeah.
girls. A lot of people don't know that they are heavy victims of it, and their life is in turmoil because of the spiritual confusion. All right. And number 5 on the list is infobotation. Infobot. Give me the info.
That sounds wild.
Info. Watch TikTok. Watch over here on Instagram. Going to seminar. Going to that. I'm watching Brother Panic 6-hour marathon on Baphomets, and I'm listening to Bobby Hemmett's 8-hour special over here, and I'm going to the Negro dance over there, and the Return of Gods over here, and I watch a Galighticus video over there, and
Oh my gosh.
and then they wonder why they're confused. So there's nothing wrong with searching and spinning the wheel of fortune, so to speak, spinning the wheel of fortune, but the wheel of fortune has to stop eventually. And it may stop on the jackpot. If not, you keep spinning. But if imagine it's stopping and you keep spinning it. And this is the analogy of what some people do when they have spun the wheel of fortune and they landed on the jackpot, but they continue to keep spinning instead of taking the jackpot of where they landed on and cashing that, transacting that in to see what's inside of it. So infobotation is that particular analogy where people are satiated by the lust of information, but they don't utilize the data of the information to improve and transform their lives accordingly. You become someone who is on the outskirts of the information as opposed to like Galacticus on the inside of the data and using it. There's a big difference, and that's what makes the difference between people who are powerless and allured by the power and the thought of it, and people who actually do have the power. Infobotation. Any questions on that or any input at all before I move on to the next one, guys? Okay, cool. The next one, number 6 on the list, is bad character / poor morality. That is also something that I have seen hold a lot of people back. There are people that are older than me, 60-something years old, and they still have character that's not commensurate with their age. Like, you should know better than to steal something. Like, you haven't gotten that out of your character. You should know better than you're beguiling. You're not even lying, you're beguiling. I know some spiritual teachers whose content, I know that they are directly lying about it because I know the source of where they got it from. And I say, wow, how could this person tout themselves as a spiritual leader and have somewhat of a platform and a following, but you're lying about who you are? How do you do that? And how do you not know that that cancels out everything about you because you're lying about this one area of your life? How do you not know that? Or do you think you're so smart that no one knows better? So when we look at bad character and poor morality, higher beings and higher circumstances cannot attract themselves to you, and you can't really benefit from the highest of circumstances that you have the divine birthright to interface with if your character is bad, if you have poor morality. And I look at some of the things that they do and why they are in situations that they're in, and it's easy to see that, so, okay, you know, they have potential, but they have to stop doing this one thing. Sometimes people they curse a lot, potty mouth. I know a guy, potty mouth, potty mouth, potty mouth. Like every fifth word is a curse, and I'm just like, after a while, you have to like try to tune it out. But if I continue to have a sustained conversation with him, I would be assaulting myself, and I would be taking on the negativity of the repercussion. So I have to keep people like that on a time frame, or allowing people. There are some people that like to dump on you, like to dump their problems, dump their woes, and da-da-da-da-da. And that's cool to be there for your people, but for you to continuously allow that to be the main thing of the relationship where you're allowing that all the time, that does something to you over time. And it's something that you want to resist. And healthy boundaries are important of all kinds. It's important that you regard and regale yourself as someone who is not a dumping ground. So, you know, bad character, you'd be surprised at how insidious that is. Yes, Nick. Oh, okay. Recently, we parted ways, Galighticus, as a movement. We parted ways with someone that was involved with our movement that I didn't realize he hid his bad character. And there was a major shift that happened in him, and I said, oh, this is not good. And it was revealed, and I just said, you know, I was hurt by it for a few days. I was just trying to process, like, you know, it was a friendship that we had for a long time, and I realized that this person has fallen victim to not being able to keep his character up to par. Sometimes people, it's all that they can do to keep their character, and then one day they're not strong enough to withstand the forces that are attacking their morality and good character, and then it all falls away. I saw that happen with this individual. And I don't know what the end result is going to be in his life, but I know that that's the end of our dealing with each other. So, you know, having a good character, it leads itself to another point. It takes maintenance, it takes strength, and it takes resolve. And it's like any other muscle. If you don't utilize the muscularity of your abilities, it will begin to atrophy. Every day, you have an opportunity to exercise your character and your morality, and it should be to a point where it's without thought. You don't have to think about whether or not you're going to try to return this wallet that you found to someone. It's like, oh no, wait a minute, it's automatic. Let's see. Oh, okay, I got the name here. I'm going to try to find out who this person is and get this back to him. Oh, there's $10,000 on there. Oh, okay, cool. They'll be happy to get that money back.
And people that think you're corny for being that way,
right?
I've learned how to kind of keep them out. Yeah.
You see that? You know, so, and people go, oh, that's corny. You know, then you have to evaluate them, right? So, very, very interesting. So, we're going to go down the list. The next one, number 7, is low bandwidth. Did you guys get that? Low bandwidth is and are people that continue to remain the same. People that do not grow. People that do not evolve. I don't mean people who work at a job for 30 years because you are on a contracted amount of time. But if you don't begin to evolve beyond the confinement of your comfort, your bandwidth will continue to be the same. And if you are the same person 5 years, 10 years is a max out. If you're the same person that you were now than you were 10 years ago, or years ago, you haven't grown. There should be goals that you have in your life that you say, all right, in 10 years, I want to be here. I want to be there, because you only have a few of those. And growth is the responsibility of being someone who is in the field of physical life. It comes with the responsibility and the obligation of constant growth that you can see. And that should be self-explanatory, right? Okay. The next one Number 8 is cohabitation. Cohabitation, you guys already know, when you have negative cohabitation, actually, that you continue to allow to live within you. There are some people that have certain compulsions that don't belong to them. These are cohabitations that make them, that give them penchants of certain behavior, and they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves because it is not them that is acting out the impulsivity. So cohabitation, it's important. That happens because people don't have spiritual representation, and their consciousness is not connected to something that is beyond them. Cohabitation, indeed. You got to let me know when you're going to do that so I don't talk over it. So cohabitation is important, not to avail yourself to negative cohabitation. We don't need to get into what positive cohabitation is, because that's a whole other thing. And I can see people say, what's positive cohabitation? I think I have that. I'd like to have that. Am I the gods? The gods are, I'm part of the gods. Like the gods. I'm a god on earth, right? That's part of the, no, that's not what I was talking about. Sorry. The next one is no spiritual protection or affiliation. Believe it or not, people, there are people that are walking around. They have jobs, they have cars, families, boyfriends, girlfriends, pets, cats, dogs. They go to sports games. They watch Andrew Tate, and they have your friend.
Liz's favorite.
Yeah, Liz's favorite. and Kevin Samuels is yours.
No,
Yes,
no.
I love him so much.
I had one week where 2 different people, both men who were married with children, told me that I needed to watch Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I was like,
Wow.
Yeah, but then like the next week he ended up with all that other stuff happening. And
The
I was
charges,
like, exactly,
the allegations?
I told you. I was like, I knew about that.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch him.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that about you.
What?
That you don't watch him. That you don't.
I
buy
heard
into that
I heard about
alpha
5
male
minutes of his
nonsense.
rhetoric. I'm like, I couldn't bother with that. That's not my thing. Yeah. So there are people out there that don't have spiritual protection or affiliation. Lots of them. And those are the people that you see that get into trouble, that die in freak accidents, that have, they may not even die, but they're going to get broke up. They're just involved. Like, how did that happen to you? Certain things can't happen to you when you have certain types of positive relationships.
I'm just listening, but I was thinking about it. Like, what do you mean by spiritual affiliation?
All right, well, let's say with you, even before you connected to Galighticus, you were a Buddhist.
Yes.
You had a Gohanzen. You were going to certain
My
meetings.
yeah.
You have a very, compared to certain people.
And I used to sell crystals, and I worked with
Absolutely.
a 𝙈𝙗, and there's a lot of things, yeah.
Very charmed life.
Yeah, but the thing is that a lot of it isn't in writing. Like, you wouldn't be, like, you're affiliated by spirit, but are you affiliated, like, do you mean getting paperwork, like getting scratched,
No, well, getting scratched, that's a modality that I'm not talking about. That is a spiritual affiliation of a different kind, but that's not what we're talking about. But specifically, you had an affiliation with Buddhahood.
Yes, definitely.
With
And
the gods of the
It was
Buddhists.
official. I had to sign a thing and everything. Like, it was a
Right.
real, but a lot of times people practice spirituality, but never do those kinds of,
Even if you don't have to
traditional
sign.
affiliation.
Yeah, I mean, you could still be spiritually affiliated without doing what you did, which
Okay.
is, you know what I mean? It might just be a practice. It might be you worship a certain being, or you connect, or you have a particular ritual that you've had. You may not even know why you have the ritual, but that one ritual connects you to something that is beyond you, that represents light, power, and love in the universe.
Yes.
Right?
I know we keep talking about the movie Sinners, but there was a part in the movie where Michael B. Jordan, his character had on the hoodoo bag
Yes.
that was protecting him, and he yanks it off.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
And then picks up the guns, right? And he chose that as his mode of protection versus being spiritually protected by the mojo hoodoo bag,
Right.
So then he does his thing. But what's interesting, though, I think because he had that spiritual thing on him for so long, did you notice how he was peeking? And I know he was also, I don't want to blow it up for anybody, but he was in between the veil. Did you notice that part?
I did.
Yeah, but
I did
I
notice
feel like
that.
a part of that was because he had that spiritual thing, that affiliation. It's almost like having a signature, but not a physical one. It's like a spiritual signature,
Absolutely.
so to speak. But yeah, that just what came to mind when you mentioned
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that. Yes,
Yeah.
Fantasia? Yes.
I wanted to know, what could you do with old spiritual protection that no longer serves you? And I asked that question because I have a spiritual protection that I received before Galighticus, and I just feel like it no longer serves me now that I have more powerful things. But I don't know how to
Discard it or
yes.
separate from it?
And when I tried to separate myself from it, I couldn't, because I just wanted to make sure that I was doing it in a respectful way.
Absolutely. I think that's fair enough. Has it ever come to you to maybe offer it to someone else?
No, it hasn't, but I feel like it was specifically for me, and it
Right.
has like my essence on it, so
Okay.
I wouldn't feel comfortable giving it to someone else.
Got you. There are several things that you could do. One of the things that you can do is you can lovingly disregard it in a body of water. So if you ever take the Staten Island ferry, you could do that.
Okay.
Or you can bury it at least 1 foot down in any type of soil or sand.
Okay.
Those are, a beach, a wooded area,
Okay.
or you can bring it out, but it needs to be buried. That would be the way that you're showing the artifact or whatever it is, the respect, by putting it in the confines of earth. And also the elementals will receive it as an offering. That's another thing, that the energy of that and how well it has served you will be an energy that is something that can be used by the elementals as an offering, and they'll know exactly who you are, and they can form a relationship with you because of it. So putting it and offering it to one of the water gods also is a way of saying, okay, I've gone as far as I wanted to go with this, and I feel like, and you can offer it to the water gods as well. So those are 3 things that you can do with it, and it'll be respected as such.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, Nicholas?
To piggyback off of Fantasia's fantastic question,
Yes.
I have 2 high blessings talismans. Is it okay if I get one of them to my mother?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm?
Absolutely. This goes across the board. I was thinking about this as I was looking at some of the medallions that I have. If you ever want to gift someone with it, it's something that you also get the benefit of that gift and say, hey, I walk around with, not walk around, but I have certain medallions, and I look for the opportunity and the green light and look to see if someone has what I'm looking for. So, I think they would appreciate this as a gift. That's never a question that you have to ask, especially when your heart is pure. So we got to wrap this up, guys, because
Wait,
like
can you do
10:13.
that though with medallions you've already worn?
It depends on which ones. It
okay.
depends. If it's something that I've done that's specifically keyed into you, and unless you're giving it to another family member by blood, that's not something that I would advocate that you give to somebody else. If it's something that you've gotten and you haven't, it's just something that's transient, then yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay. It's because it is getting late, and wow, it's very interesting how we can go. So we're going to wrap this up, and we'll maybe save the last 2 for the seminar. All right. So I want to thank you guys for joining us. I am Master Gano Grills for Galighticus, along with my team. Thank you so much for joining the podcast Infinitum, and I'll see you next time.
Hit the like button, 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 hit the like button.